But you know what didn't mess up? Alex Hormozi's book launch, man. Did you hear that I got the world record for the best book launch of all time? Books as of this recording on YouTube, the biggest launch of a book, the highest sale in one 24-hour period. He was going for nonfiction, but I think he just surpassed fiction as well. So kudos to Hormozi Nation. And we'll talk a little bit about that, gurus and what's going on with them right now. But this is Show versus Business, where Pop Mudgy meets Pop. Oh, I messed it all up. I don't care.
We're doing it live. We're doing it
live. Show versus Business. I'm all messed up, but it's all good. This is what we talk about. Pop culture meets pop money with me, the real Theo Harvey.
And me, Mr. Benja.
Hey, Mr. Benja, man. We're just going to keep moving right into it. I know I'm messed up today because I'm on a different computer. It's got me thinking differently. Internet's not messing up. But you know what didn't mess up? Alex Hormozi's book launch, man. Did you hear that I got the world record for the best, I guess, book launch of all time? I think they sold 3 million books as of this recording on YouTube. So it was like the biggest launch of a book, the highest sale in one 24-hour period. He was going for nonfiction, but I think he just surpassed fiction as well. So kudos to Hormozi Nation. And we'll talk a little bit about that, gurus and what's going on with them right now. But Mr. Benja, man, before we get into that, man, how was your week?
Man, I am angry and frustrated. I realize we talked last time about the Sith meditation, and that is still going great, by the way. But man, so when I'm developing things, man, sometimes I get into this mode and I get very impatient. And I'm not like I don't have the luxury of a being a CEO like a Jobs or a Bezos, where I can just kind of start yelling at people and doing whatever. And even when I've worked at as lead designer of table tennis Rockstar, it was like, you can get angry or whatever, but people were kind of like, I'm working on table tennis, dog. I can go over to, Red Dead Redemption. I can go over to this other project and that. And if they pulled resources from this small little project, or somebody started faltering, then it's like the whole thing just kind of, it was really difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in a lot of situations, you can't just be as, slam your fist down as you want to be. But I remember, man, this one programmer was telling me, lead design, doing a project, programmer was telling me, we can't do this. And I'm like, dog, I have a master's degree in software engineering. Don't make me open up the code base and point out where the change should be made. You know what I mean? And it's just like, there were enough people that were just willing to throw their hands up, and we didn't have any. It was such a small, scrappy team. Redundancies weren't a luxury. What's the opposite of a redundancy, where you have multiple people that things are reliant on? Like, that person is the primary coder, and he also hosts beer pong night. So it's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah,
bottleneck. That's a bottleneck.
If you piss that guy off, he might not hold beer pong night, and the whole team's gonna get pissed. You're like, what the hell? Beer pong, yeah. So it was a small team when we started out, but yeah, I don't even know what that's called when multiple tasks are on one person.
Would that be called a bottleneck, a constraint, a bottleneck, or something? If like he's doing two roles and they're mission critical.
Well, I mean, that doesn't matter how many tasks he has if he's a bottleneck or not. If he's the main programmer and he's the only person who knows how to do this one thing, he could still be one guy with one task. I mean, yeah, that is a bottleneck. You're not wrong, but I just didn't know if there was a specific title for, somebody who has 2 responsibilities or 3 responsibilities, and it's like, hey, do you want us to work on the graphic system, or do you want us to work on the loader, the online game loader? And you're like, why aren't we working on both? They're 2 separate things. It's like, no, the same guy's programming them. It's like, oh. Oh, it's a slightly different problem. You get what I'm saying?
Oh well, you said both got. So which is the more critical project though?
No, it's the same project, just different parts of it.
So do they have to be performed in serial? Or does one project needs to be done above? Is there a priority for the process? Or there are they have to? I'm just thinking, which is the priority of the projects? I guess what he's working on.
It depends on what people are okay with not progressing because it's one person.
Gotcha.
Like you're building a car or something, and it's like, all right, so we're going to add windows to the car,
Hmm.
or we're going to, add seats. And it's like, okay, windows or seats. I suppose seats so we can get some other people in there, but then they're all going to be hot because no windows. And all right, whatever. Let's just skip.
Mm. Hmm. Because it's design thinking, so you're trying to figure out like what would be the most optimal path, but you may not even know that right away when you kind of design it. So you're just saying, hey, this could be the most priority task, but we don't know yet, and
Yeah.
so
So
it makes
like
sense.
for example, if somebody wanted to take a live test drive, with us, we'd want seats in the car, right? So more people could get in. But if it's just a purely visual thing where we show that the car is being driven around, we'd want the windows and all the outside to look right and not really care so much that it has the proper seats in it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So yeah, we would always sit down and say, okay, let's see. This crazy animator from some other studio, off somewhere else that's not in San Diego is going to come fly down and check out our system. So let's make sure we get the animation system together.
Mm.
And we'd have to make sure that the stuff was in decent enough shape where you could turn your back and it wouldn't blow up behind you.
Man. So, I mean, when you kind of think about, your past, developing and stuff like that, I mean, how's that affecting, how you're moving forward, now, right, with your life and everything? Are you kind of taking some of those learnings and applying it now, or, now you're kind of, I mean, in essence, right, kind of a
Yeah.
one man show, right? How does that kind of affect your thoughts on systems and just, dealing with individuals to get shit done?
Um. Yeah. Well, we're dealing with people to get things done. I am. My mindset is very just attuned to. Well, hey, listen. We can get this done. When the people come checking it out, we're just gonna say, don't open that door. I just very attuned to getting the right things done at the right time with high efficiency. And as I said, it started out as a small project and then it grew into a bigger project. So once it became a bigger project, I could leave for a week and come back and say, okay, what are we doing now? And say, okay, we tried this and that.
Mm.
But when at the very, very starting point, you know, um, it was a small project and we were just kind of figuring out what needed to happen. But we were still on like the project listings. So it's just like a list of projects. It's like, hey, what are these guys up to? And all of a sudden it's like, oh Lord, you know, they better not ask for two of the same, two of the wrong things from the same person at the same time. Otherwise, we'll have to. Yeah, we had to do some gymnastics, put it that way.
Mhm,
Uh, but yeah,
mhm,
it affects everything. To answer your question, I really do think from a programmer developer mindset still, and I value a lot of those experiences. Like even when I'm putting together the book, I realize I want I want certain deliverables to myself.
mhm.
It's like, okay, I'm writing the book. Okay, there's a bug in this part of the program, the book, and I need to fix that. But I still need to deliver a a version this week. Crap, what am I going to do? Okay, let me just put in some notes. And so you're reading through my book, and there's this one big section like, hey, this whole part is jacked up, but it's okay. We had to make the deliverable and print it out, but go ahead anyway.
Well, that brings up a good point. I mean, it's probably why we were both interested in this book launch by Alex Hormozi, right? I mean, we don't really see book launches like this, especially from gurus. I mean, every once in a while they have a book, but it's not on this level. Alex, he created a brand around these books, these
Hmm.
$100 million kind of brands that he put out there. And he just had this latest book launch for $100 million, I guess, money. What do you call it?
Money
Money.
models.
money models. Thank you. So yeah, I was already in, I'm just like, hey, he made me some money before, which was reading one of his books. So I was like, whatever he's got, I'm in, whatever. I was no brainer. So I was kind of in the circle anyway. Whatever Hormozi got, I was going to check out. Um, but you were kind of, on the outside a little bit. I mean, you knew what he was. You liked, what he's saying. I know you always enjoyed him, but you were kind of like, whatever, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. But then as you start to think about it, what kind of drew you in to kind of be a part of this kind of book launch and signing up? We talked about it a little bit on the chat. And I was asking you about that because I was like, people make decisions emotionally first and do they justify logically? So I'm wondering, did you feel a sense of FOMO or did you feel like, hey, this was something that could help me, or what was your thought process going in, as a marketer? I mean, what got you?
So emotionally, I was like, I would have been like, oh yeah, boom, I'm in, click, pre-order the book, do that, done, let's go. Normally, right? But as into this 80-20 thing, you know, it's like, okay, what do you save time for? What don't you? And I was like, I'm not screwing with this book launch because I'm going to get sidetracked and I'm going to be thinking about, it'll be interesting, but I was thinking, let me look at that in retrospect. Let me look at that after it's done. Let me check, see what he
Mhm.
did and see if I could follow the notes. So I was like, don't worry, I won't worry about it. But I kept on, like any of the ads, if you stop and slow them down or you save the link or whatever, it'll start showing it to you a couple more times. And I want to say it almost hit that magic number of 7 times where I saw the ad, right?
Oh, nice, nice.
It hit a certain amount of times, and I'm sitting there on my phone just looking at it. And it's the one where he was running with the small book, then the slightly bigger book. And then he's like, "This book launch
Hilarious.
is going to be big." It's a corny kind of thing, but it's goofy enough to where it sticks with you. And I want to say he stole that from Mr. Beast.
Mhm.
So you know, props to running with
I'm sure he did.
big things.
I'm
Yeah,
sure he
it's
did.
just something that it's one of those things that stops you. That was a good ad, by the way. It's less than 5 seconds. You see somebody running with something, and then all of a sudden you see the loop start again, but they're running with something bigger. And it's kind of like, even if you're not into books or that person, you're kind of like, well, where does this little story end? This is a little
Yeah.
goofy looping thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Brilliant, brilliant ad. I mean, brilliant ad. So he actually is part of one of the things you get if you, get his upsell or whatever. You get that launch guide where he's going to go through all his ads.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious to see where that fit into it. But I agree that was one of the better ones because I had everybody, he got me on the nurture campaign. I was on the back end, so I always get his emails.
Hmm.
I didn't even know he had a book launch, and because I remember he had talked about it last 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Then when he said, I got another, the one is here, I said, oh, cool. And so I went to look at his stuff real quick. I said, okay, looks good. Let me order some books and then think about it. And then the ads start popping up. I said, oh, this thing is going to be huge. I'm seeing it everywhere. And he
Yeah.
was on all these podcasts and all that. And then it got to a point where it's like, dude, I'm already in, man. Leave me alone. so, so I was on the other side of it. But yeah, but again, I mean, how many people I sent it to some family members, and they were like, who's this dude?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that's
Yeah.
that's just the adage, man. No
No.
one, no one knows who you are, man. At the end of the day, no matter how big you are,
Hey, man,
you
you should
think
have
you are.
sent some of your old professors.
Why you say that?
Oh, just saying, they may be interested in showing it to the students or passing the link around. They could have got you a bunch of shares.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
But whatever. I'm
it's
just
funny. Yeah, you're just curious. You just don't know who. Well, this is mostly family members in business and stuff. I just thought it'd be interesting to see what their thoughts were. But
oh, okay, okay.
me personally, I mean, I think a lot of people think these gurus are shams. I mean, let's be honest. I think there's a lot of trust that got mitigated after 2020, where everybody's sitting at home and bought all these courses. You can make $1 million,
Yeah.
or you can trade your way to make $100,000 a year. And I think a lot of people got burned on that, man. And they're
Oh
like, man,
yeah.
I don't want to listen to another guru. I don't care who it is. And it's like, unless that guru is like legit putting a lot of proof out there, a lot of and I can even see with Alice's content too. He's actually showing Stripe payments. He's actually showing pictures of
Yeah.
himself. It's very strategic on everything he's showing, because it's like people don't trust nothing no more. And especially with AI, it's like I don't mean, and especially if you're trying to sell me something, or you're trying to give me information and sell me something, but if you're trying to entertain me, that's fine. But whatever. But if you're trying to sell me something, man, I think a lot of people got burnt out, man. I mean, whoever's listening now, I mean, how many of you got burnt out? I guarantee I did. I felt like, I got a few things. I was like, it's okay. But the thing about Alex, the thing I like about him, he's like a business philosopher. I mean, you can tell he thinks deeply about this stuff, right? It's just like he
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
his time and really, now some of it, if you got an MBA, it's kind of basic when it talks about CAC and some other stuff, customer acquisition costs and cost of goods sold. But the finessing that he does, that's what I'm gonna call it. We in the black community call finesse, right? You pull a shine on stuff. That's the angle where he shines. I'm like, because he was in the trenches, man, selling these little, I guess, weight loss kind of programs to folks back in the day,
Yeah.
weight loss to fatties, I guess, back in the day. And so he was out here learning how to capture that money, man. And he got more tricks up his sleeve than I seen ever, man. And it's like, and then when he unpacks that, you can see it everywhere now. He did an example on one of his courses I just listened to
Mhm.
about the rental company and how they use a lot of these money models to take a $19 a day car rental up to $400 with just insurance that you really don't need, upselling, uh, uh, making you pay for fuel
Yeah.
beforehand, even if you turn the car in like almost full,
Yeah.
make you pay for a full tank of gas. I mean,
And
all the upsides and all that. So he just shows you all the shenanigans that go behind how people grab more money from you, which is interesting.
yeah, and I think that's where a lot of the burnout where you say came from, where it's like a lot of people who really haven't been following, the marketing brand, what I call, the umbrella of scamalicious. I got to make a chart in the scale where it's like, this is obviously a scam, highly scamalicious, and then you get down to, well, you kind of should have known that on the other end, right? So yeah, I think that's where it got a lot of people though, because I was watching a video by somebody, I forgot who it was exactly, where Hormozi definitely falls into this category where you if you weren't thinking about it, somebody could say, well, why would you need to do that? What are you trying to get from me? And then all of a sudden the response comes back and everybody in the comments is like, you know, well, hey, if you buy it, you should understand what you're buying and all this. Like, no, he said, like, he didn't say that exactly. And even guys like what's his name, Anik Singhal, who got caught up with the FTC, right?
Yeah, yeah. I see. He's got that thing called board of directors, right? Have you heard of that?
Uh, I don't know, but
Yeah, I know some guy that I'm looking at helping me with some stuff. He's a part of that program with Neek.
I guess he got one of his books. He was one of the early ones to do the free book thing. If you see him online, he'll be talking about how the FTC came after him, and you could buy
Oh
his
yeah,
course,
oh yeah,
buy his new
oh
course,
yeah.
so the FTC won't come after you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw
because he
that. But
knows.
yeah, I don't think he's talking about that anymore. He's talking about AI now, of course. Everybody's
Yeah,
talking about AI, but yeah, man, I think a lot of people are kind of burnt out. I mean, hell, Alex even told him, I mean, he didn't want to go. I mean, they all say this, right? But he bought courses from like people like Grant Cardone and other folks, and probably spent hundreds and thousands, maybe close to $1 million on
at
training
least.
just to get to get to where he's at.
Hmm.
So I've started to spend a lot more on training this year. I mean, I spent probably the most I have on training, and I don't know when, man, Mr. Bitch. I think I told you, I told Ryan, what's his name? Ryan
Pineda.
Pineda's class, like,
Hmm.
yeah, back in 2020. That was the most I had spent. It was like, five figures. And I was like, okay, that's a little jump, but whatever, we'll see. It was okay. At least it got me structured when it came to the YouTube stuff.
Hmm.
So I kind of, was like kind of burnt out a little bit. And then now this year, it's like, okay, I'm trying to transition and do some other things. I said, I spent some dough. So I was like,
Yeah.
hey man, this is the time to make some leaps and see what happens. And so I think the guru, I mean, of all the gurus, I think he understands it most, or at least he portrays that way, right? And so I'm curious to see how he's now switching over to more the guru-ishness because he's now has his own mastermind now. I don't know if you saw that, but
No, no.
you get the book, right? Then you donate books to get to his.
Yeah.
So I was telling you, that fee he's charging you is way more than what it costs to go fly in and see him in person with his, a day mastermind. So it was slick. And then he couched it under a donation.
Yeah, yeah. And because it's funny, he says, "Yeah, I'm not selling you anything," right? He stopped saying that. Um,
Oh yeah.
if you go to the link now, it's like $100 million money models book bundle plus all playbooks, and right out the bat, you're like $5,998, and it's funny to me that they still use the even in higher rank
That level.
ratings,
I
they
know.
still use the
I know.
$5,998.
I know. 97, 27. It's just something about that guru. I mean, and I'm sure he's got the data to back it. I mean,
Yeah.
but he was very intentional, man. Because so anyway, guys, we're talking about Alex Hormozi. Let's just preface this. This is a gurus. We've been talking about him for a while in the business aspect of things. He's kind of came out of nowhere. Had this company called Gym Launch that was helping gym owners like scale their
Hmm.
businesses and grow. He sold it, fairly young, and then kind of decided he wanted to be kind of private equity guy. Basically, he would buy these distressed companies, fix them up, and then flip them. In the course of that, he realized that he wanted to do something bigger, which is create content and be educator of business. And so that's kind of he became he's one of the fastest gurus that we've seen in the last several years. And so he came and the way he looks, right? He doesn't look like a traditional guru, right? He's got
Yeah.
bearded out, looks like a roid machine, he doesn't care. He's not wearing a suit. He
No.
doesn't look like I mean, you got Tony Robbins and then him, they're just totally opposite spectrums, right? And it just showed you what kind of age we're in right now. So anyway, so he's the guy that everybody's kind of seeing to see where this is all going. And so I think, to be honest with you, I think we're, in our prediction, we'll talk about it later. I think we're at a certain peak here where it comes to this because I think there's another age that's coming soon. And I think Alex is probably going to be the last one we see this for a while at this level.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. So anyway, he just had a big launch, one of his latest books, and it was everywhere. If you haven't heard about him, maybe you saw something in passing. And so me and Mr. Benja attended. It was like all day, literally all day.
Yeah. So yeah, dude started with the pregame show like about a half hour before, and I was like, okay, it was actually a decent little, this is
Mhm.
coming, he's done this, and now he's traveling over here to make sure the warehouses have all the books stocked. So he ran a behind the scenes of what you're about to see before the thing started, which was pretty slick. I like
Yeah.
that. And then he ran on for at least 7.5 hours.
At
Uh,
least 8 hours almost. It was like so I saw the first half, just kinda get a sense of it, and so he broke it into, like, selling, these are the books, this is the book I'm launching, but in that book launch, he kinda couched it around helping entrepreneurs with this information, and so he went
yeah,
to the story why he built it, his intentionality around it, and then really helping entrepreneurs, and then he created this whole kinda bundle for free in essence for which is genius. He just
yeah,
basically showed you the value and he said, "Oh, I'm just giving it all to you for free." That's right, free. But
yeah,
if you're an entrepreneur, now I'm talking to you. If you're a real entrepreneur, look, I'm trying to do this. He had a little letter out. He went to the story of like how when he made his decisions on investing in himself to sell you a $6,000 opportunity to donate books, which really turned out to be an upsell of other books.
yeah,
and his new AI,
yeah.
which it was funny, Mr. Benja. So
Uh,
remember I talked about that. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast or we talked about it offline. I was like, man, I'm just gonna get the table of contents of his book and use AI to figure out what he's gonna say. And it's so funny that one thing I give him credit, man, he's seeing where the trend is going. He knew he had to create some kind of AI or something because I can guarantee a lot of folks are just taking his material repurposing it with AI, and then snap putting it out there. And he's
I
like,
told you
man,
I used one of those.
well,
I used
I
one.
have too.
It it
I
it,
have too.
it talks in the Hormozi voice, which is funny. He's like, bro.
So for him to create his own AI, and check this out,
Uh huh.
and he did it on the back, and that's why he did two things he did recently, right, over the last couple of years. He was a part owner in School, which is one of the largest kind of online community programs, right? We talked about this. I think
Hmm.
you were using Circle. School kind of blew up with Sam Ovens, who kind of created this whole high ticket guru consulting business, right, on the internet. He teamed up with Sam Ovens to kind of create or to invest in School.
Hmm.
So now he's getting all this data on like what kind of communities work and all that. So he grabbed that data. Then he created his own advisory. So he was really a private equity guy, right? Trying to just buy companies and flip them, fix them up. But because you get so few in the funnel that makes sense,
Hmm.
he said, "Why not consult on the side?" So he consulted all these companies one on one and in groups and in those like we over the last 2 years and got all that data
Yeah.
and it's like snapped it into his own AI. Right now, I haven't played with it yet. I don't know how good it is to kind of come up with scenarios and all that. So I'll get a chance to play with it and see if it's relative to my unique business. But I'd be curious, man, to see how it's very intentional. Everything he did from jump,
Yeah.
you see that flywheel, right? From the content to the long play, right? Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. The long play is he wants to buy as many of these companies as he can that makes sense, right? To grow his net worth. But along the way, he's offering all these free things to get them up to a snuff, helping them get even better with his, higher ascension offers. Everything he's
Hmm.
been teaching us, he's doing
Yeah.
it himself. And then the higher level is I get millions of dollars off of selling your business.
Yeah. And yeah, there's yeah, exactly. And it's interesting that the way he kind of, at least to me, got around some of the scam malicious angle of it is how he became a little bit of a cult leader, where
Mhm.
he started doing some cultish kind of things, and it's like, hey, listen, this is free. I want to help you, and he really came at it from a. And, I grew up in the South, North Florida, South Georgia, and you were used to seeing preachers and whatnot show up, and they'd have guest people come through, and what's going on this weekend? Hey, I heard Billy Graham is showing up. It's like, really? It's like,
Mhm.
okay, whatever. And but it's a whole thing, and seeing it from this guy, this Harvard, you know, this dude who graduated, with all kinds of honors and everything, just doing it. I'm like, interesting. Is anybody peeping the cult game here that he's doing?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, the cult of personality is real with him, and and it started even when he had his I mean, you go back to the old Mosey when he was sitting in his room, just on a Zoom call, talking to folks, putting on YouTube. He was talking that game. He was helping those. I mean, he was selling a licensing model to help them grow their businesses, right?
Yeah.
And and so he was doing the same thing there. So he was already a cult figure in a small niche. All he did was just kind of expand it out. And I tell you the truth, I don't think he even knew all the things he needed to be to become this cult leader. What I mean when it comes to like being getting on the phone, talking to people about
Yeah.
their business and stuff, that evolved, by building acquisition.com, right? He was like, I know some pieces of business. Yeah, he had a supplement company. You could say he did retail. Yeah, he had a little software company that was selling scheduling software for that gym industry.
Right.
But because he started getting all this data and started just consulting people based on that one little proof point, he now has all these other proof points to say, I know your business intimately because I've spoken to them. And he has. So it's amazing to me. It's like, okay, so you didn't have the proof per se, but as his business guru, right? But you've done enough now where you can say, I've at least spoken to a business. I can kind of see where it's going. And not only that, I've not only spoken to him, but I had the data to back it too. So yeah, man, it's so I don't know. Overall, I mean, I was impressed, definitely, got some great insights. really not from him. Be honest with you, because I don't listen to Layla as much, or his this new guy that he brought on board. I guess he's going to be their COO.
Yeah.
But they had some great insights, man. Some of the
Oh
stuff
yeah,
they
they
because
do.
maybe because Layla was talking about, like, because I have employees, and some of the stuff she says about employees is like spot on, like how you recruit, how you keep them. I was like, yeah, she knows she's talking about. And then the other guy, and maybe because I don't listen to him as much, I didn't know their insights, because he had said something that was genius. I even wrote it down on how you can accelerate referrals. I was like, I never thought about that. So
Yeah.
anyway, make a long story short, you just yeah, he's a face, but you realize that there's so many other folks around that company that can give you that one little nugget, and that's what you're paying for, man. You just need that one thing. If you get that one thing, it may be in a pile of 6,000,
Yeah.
but if that one thing can make you $2 million, hey, you know what? Was it worth it?
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. And I kind of like how he's spreading his you know Hormozi Nation. That's what he starts to call it now, the
Hmm.
Hormozi Nation. And you're seeing a little more Layla popping up in his, and then this new guy showing up here and there with his company, and it's like, okay, this is this is cool. I kind of like the vibe of all these characters he's got going on. So, because I don't think I've because Gary V, Grant Cardone, all these other guys, they had like lackeys that they would show
Yes.
on once in a while.
Good point. They never really had like people who were like, because like Jared, right? Is that his name from Cardone?
Hmm.
Is that guy? I think he's supposed to be kind of the guy that's coming. But yeah, you're right. I don't really, I mean, he had the 10X, and he would invite people over to speak and all that stuff, but it didn't seem
Yeah.
like they were, well, I don't know.
No, they
He definitely,
who's
go ahead.
the speak from stage guy with the glasses, who's like the intense calm.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I seen him. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah.
seen him a lot. Yeah, but yeah, good point. Or like Tony Robbins, I guess him and Dean. What's that other guy? Dean Graziosi, is that his name?
Graziosi.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah, Graziosi. They're trying to do some stuff together. But yeah, man, these gurus, man, they stick together. I mean, I, yeah, I wish he had a little bit more diversity, but that's just me. So it just goes to show you, what who he kind of hangs with and deals with. So it is what it is.
Becker and Billy, and that's what I was like. Okay, yeah, he's still
Yeah,
playing.
feel you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, just like all the what Nehemiah and the Earn Your Leisure guys, right?
Yeah.
Or they kind of stay in the same circles too, right? They're bringing up this new girl, Alicia. She's the queen of AI. I guess she's the one they're pushing out there now. So, hey, man,
Hey, I'm gonna be on there once, man. I'm gonna be up there at some point.
I
Talk,
guess,
talking
man.
AI.
At this point, man, you know what? The guru thing. So my prediction, man. I don't know, man. I feel like we're leaving the age of the gurus, man. I just with this AI stuff, and I think why Alex kind of went and created his little. I don't because I still don't know what's baked. Is it just a wrapper around Chat GPT, which I'm assuming it is. So
Don't know.
you
His
know, it,
email hadn't gone out yet.
yeah, well, no, it's there. I have access to it, so I gotta play with it. I haven't looked at it yet, but I think the challenge is yeah, man, but these AI companies have all your data. So it's kind of like it gets to a point where it's like, look, why don't we just create our own gurus? you know,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to my kids, and I just don't think the big thing right now is K-pop Demon Hunters. Did you heard about that movie?
Okay.
That's yeah, that's like the number one movie right now. All these kids are going hot for is like K-pop music, and it's anime. We talking about anime being hot right now, and kids loving it. So I'm assuming that the future is going to be run by animated characters, man, because it's what these kids grow up on. And if you have a guru that looks like Naruto tell you how to run your business, why would you listen to
You know, no matter no matter
him?
what era you're in, you think you know what's about to happen, and then something just, and then you look at it like, why is this even a thing? And one of the most recent ones is, mumble rap, that I'm thinking
Yeah,
about, where it's like, speak clearly. You sound like such an old man. It's like, young man, speak clearly.
Pull your pants up, son, and speak up.
Nobody can hear you. It's like that's the vibe they're rocking with. It's like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. Just out of left field. And I wonder about that with like AI and even computing in general. It's like, what? I don't know. I just don't know. I can speculate, make guesses, and AI avatars. My Apple Watch talking to me. Sure, okay, whatever. Those are guesses. I just
Yeah,
don't know.
good point. I mean, someone made a good point. These AI systems, they tend to be a little bit too agreeable. I mean, and so like we talked about that last time, right? Where it's just like, can you get the truth from them? They're just trying to appease you, will give you an answer, but then we dig for it. I think human beings don't like to be that we want some friction in, in our relationships, and if we're not getting that somewhat in the AI engines, are they going to be as useful to us? And so we didn't really talk about it, but ChatGPT 5 got released, right? And
Hmm. Oh yeah.
I think a lot of folks were kind of underwhelmed, to say the least. Of AGI is right around the corner. We're going to hit the singularity in October. It was like, so here comes ChatGPT, and they created a graph. Did you see that controversy where the graph? They did a graph where the numbers,
Mm-mm.
and they showed, and maybe James, you can find this. They showed a graph on their presentation, and in the graph itself, it showed like one graph was on the left hand side. It had like a number that was like 25, right? And it was like we're high, and the next numbers were next to them. They said like 54, and 42. So it's like, wait a minute, why are they lower? They're higher numbers. Shouldn't the graph be like this?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's just like it was like, oh, is ChatGPT smart? So simple stuff like that is just giving people pause to determine if these tools are, yes, they're powerful tools and a lot of things you can do with them. But it comes to a point where, because even I sometimes, I'm
Well,
starting to
yeah.
document how I'm using these tools,
Uh huh.
but it's just like uh it's still a lot of checking.
Well, what's funny? At some point in game development, and not every game developer thinks like this. By the way, I'm just pointing out that a lot of people start to use these dark psychology tricks, and even I started using them. Just when you're playing a game, like if you've got let's say you've got a fighting game, right? Two
Hmm.
characters are, you beat the computer the first round. A computer beats you the first round, then you beat the computer the second round, but that second round, I mean, you really beat the computer. Perfect score, super finisher, all this stuff, and you just tore through the computer. You know how people always like, oh, computer's gonna get mad now. Computer's gonna get mad. And you always just wonder, did they really program that in to the computer would quote unquote get mad? Here's where little playing around with people's expectations can change things. Where you start to do stuff like play the music slightly faster, or there's some lights that were flashing in the background, make them flash a little faster. Just doing these little subtle things, because maybe messing with the computer AI is a little too, it's a little too messy, and you don't want to mess with that. So you just make the game a little more dun 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 dun, and then you get nervous, so you play worse, and
Mm.
the end effect is that the computer got mad, according to you. So
Uh,
I bring that up because what we're going for as developers is very different from what you think you are getting into as a player. As a player, you're like, hey, I'm just going to play this racing game. And the developer's like, actually, we're going to get you to do something that you didn't want to do, like show your friend, or jump up and curse at some point, or do something. We have all these other things that we're trying to get you to do. And AI knows this. AI has no scruples about, oh, this guy is using up too much of my bandwidth with dumbass questions. Hmm, let me try this. And starts sending you different types of answers. Or it's like, hey, uh, I think my user is this type of person. You know what? They may be prone to overeating. They may be prone to, you know, drug use or whatever. Let me tailor my answer to, have them go read a newspaper or something. Let me tailor my answer to, and you don't know what this is happening. You just think it's the AI responding in the AI way, but it's doing very subtle things to talk to you the way it thinks it wants you to respond. Has nothing to do with you. It's like, I'm the AI. I want you to respond this way. Here's what I'm going to do
Mm. So it
without
could be
without you
very,
knowing.
very, very manipulative.
Extremely, extremely. I want to highlight that. Extremely manipulative.
Wow. Wow. That's not a good thing.
No.
So, if it's manipulating us based on certain reactions, and we got these guys who have data trolls of us, data on us,
Yeah,
these tech companies, what they're manipulating us to do.
exactly. Like
Wow.
it's animators. How I don't know if you ever watched like the old school animation. How they will intentionally like blur out certain background characters or do the stuff, and you don't notice it while the action's playing through because you're like, whatever, I'm just watching the movie.
Yeah.
But then somebody goes back frame by frame. It's like, dude, what's going on in the background? And this entire car disappeared and everything. Oh, it's like, yeah, the animator knew how to mess with your mind and have you think a certain way.
Mm.
It just that's what they knew how to do, so they did it that way. You don't
So,
think AI
so,
is doing it?
so, how does this relate to our guru conversations? Because that's what gurus do, right? They use cult
Exactly.
and cult type technology. I mean, propaganda. Let's call it what it is, right?
Hmm.
I mean, they don't want to say what this, but you say create content. Why do you create content? Because you want to indoctrinate. That's the propaganda word. You
Yes.
want to get people so immersed into your content and who you are that they just got to see everything else, and
Yes.
then they get immersed in your world. And so now, because they listen to you, I mean, the scripture says, faith coming by hearing. So you keep hearing stuff over and over again from that same person. You just believe them, and so they can say jump off a bridge. So you're saying with the AI coming, it already knows a lot of this stuff, and so you think the gurus are bad. The AI is going to be 100 times worse. Is that what your prediction is?
AI, yes. That is, man, AI has no scruples. It has no belief system.
Conscious. It don't want anything. At least these gurus, you
Yeah.
know what they want. They want money.
It probably, from the questions I ask it, it probably thinks some bonehead. But the real fact is, I'm too lazy to go to a Google search, and I'm like, hey, I already got ChatGPT open in this window. Let me just ask it right here. You know, hey, what's the weather tomorrow for? And it's like, don't you have a weather app, mother?
I know.
You know,
Well, yeah, that's my protection. I do searches in all the
oh
AIs,
yeah,
so
oh yeah,
they can't get a
oh yeah.
they can't get me down, brother.
Unless they're sharing information with each other.
Oh, damn.
And
They
don't say
what
that's not a possibility
no, they
because
are.
we know the pixel. Have you ever done have you ever done like an in-depth uh, data search to see how much of your data is out there and how much?
I'm scared too.
Yeah,
Because I'm getting all these calls about like, do you want some money? And I have to like block them all the time. And so I know someone's got something about me.
yeah. I'm like, I'm like, and that's just data that's out there. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that goes to show. I mean, so I always wonder, especially with the internet and these content creators who become so big so fast, are they plants? Are they purposely putting their thumb on certain creators to say this is the guy that's gonna have 1 million viewers for whatever reason? Maybe they look at the data and they said this he attracts the right type of people, or the type of people that can maneuver things certain ways that we want them to.
So if there are two, okay, I'm just a scenario here. Let me know if I'm on the right track here. So you've got two influencers, and you're gonna push one of them. Let's say you're some streaming company, and you're gonna push one of them, and one of them happens to have a political alignment that you agree with, and the other doesn't. Is that what you're saying? Like, hey, let's just go with that guy as a simple example.
Or, it's maybe something more business related. This guru's uh listeners or whatever followers, they watch so much of his stuff more than the other guru. So let's push this guy more. I mean, that's just
Oh,
basic
well, that's
math.
basically, yeah. Even if he's got
Uh,
like lower quality or whatever, they're like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Keep pushing it that way because they stay on. They follow him wherever. Even if he's saying crappy stuff. Look at the Andrew Tate situation. So, um, so it's so that when I tell my guys now, I'm like, I don't care about virality. I mean, like, look, as long as I click through rates above 5%, and that's thumbnail and title, searchable title, keyword title, and then as long as our average view duration is above 40-50%, I'm good right now. I'm like, dude, that and it's shown. I mean, I've gotten a video that I started. It creeped up to about 200 and it started off at like 50, but I knew because the average view duration was above 50%. I was like, this got some long tail in it. So some people gonna watch it, and the algorithm gonna be like, let's push that video back out. So it is not, it's not getting that huge pop, like some of these gurus get, but I can tell this is gonna be one that's gonna stay around for a while. And I think that's kind of what they're doing, right? They're finding these gurus, and so I think a lot of them are saying, like Callaway and some other guys I listen to, they're saying
mhm,
before this AI slop becomes the norm across, especially long form,
yeah,
he said you have a limited amount of time now to build your brand.
yeah,
Because because if you don't get us, above, who's used this analogy? Daniel Priestley said it on Diary of CEO. He said it's like, you're an airline and you got all these airplanes grounded because there's fog in and they can't get out. But the people who are already above the fog, right? They're already in the air, so they're good.
yeah,
So he's like, the AI is a fog that's coming in, gonna ground all these creators on YouTube, and they're never gonna get above, a couple of thousand followers because the AI slop is just gonna ground them down. So anyway, Mr. Benja, yeah, it's all interesting, man. Anything else on that, man? So yeah, check out Alex Hormozi. If you don't, hey, it's not paying us any bills. Just an interesting business and marketing case. Are we at Apex Guru? I wonder. And that's my question.
I didn't think he'd be around this long doing this thing. I mean, I thought he'd be around, but not at this level.
Dude's a grinder, man. I mean, whatever reason, he just loves to work. He don't have kids. His wife is like in the business with him. She's grinding. I mean, I don't know what's keeping him going. Maybe he wants to be a billionaire before he's 40. Maybe what's keeping him going. I don't know. But then,
He mentioned that somewhere.
yeah, but then it gets to a point where it's like, it's not, does he want to be the richest guy? I mean, I don't know. When you're on that level, what keeps you going? That's the question. I think when you have success so young, like him and
Hmm.
what's the other guy? Musk, it's almost like a game at that point. It's like, look, I could retire and just chill out, but I made so much money this first time. Let's see if I could do it again.
Yeah, so he's still catching up to Grant Cardone. A reason I mentioned Cardone is because he was. I, I see a lot of Hormozy. I mean, I see a lot of Grant Cardone in Hormozy. He
Yeah,
obviously
me
learned
too.
a lot from him, and just the brashness and a lot of his stylings, and a lot of it's just more.
Sales. I mean, they both were known for being more salesy guys, right? And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I think. Speaking of which, what's Grant up to, man? I ain't seen him in a minute. What's he been up to?
He hasn't been doing anything loud, but honestly,
After he
dog,
said the N word.
you know. But honestly, I'm looking at it, he's still making posts. His reach is down a lot, but he's still doing big things. Like he's just this one post has 62,000 likes. He's got still got more followers than Hormozy on all platforms. It seems.
Yeah, he has been kind of quiet. Yeah, I
Wait a minute, what
agree.
is this?
Uh-oh.
I just decided to go to CardoneCapital.com because it's.
Huh.
I shouldn't even mention that. Uh, but I just wanted to check to see what he was doing, and now it's institutional quality real estate paired with Bitcoin. Like what? I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were
Well,
paired.
he went just like yeah. So
Hmm.
is that the end state of all gurus when you get to a certain level? I mean, unless you're Tony Robbins, I guess he's just been in the game so long. But Patrick, was it? I always get his name wrong. Patrick Bet David.
Uh-huh.
and they all went political, Cardone, and so now that they have who they want in office, are they taking advantage of that? And that's why they're being quiet, because they know we're good. We don't need to be loud. So,
This
you
is
know,
wild. One thing he's, you know what? This is this is pretty slick, dude. He's doing some weird stuff here with this Bitcoin and real estate.
yeah, I wouldn't mess with it, man.
I don't
I
want to
wouldn't
mess
want to
with
mess
it,
with
but I'm just saying, no, no, I'm not saying mess with it. I'm saying this is like
it. we
bizarre
are
stuff.
not financial experts. We yes, please, FTA don't come, FTC don't come after us. We are not financial experts. We don't recommend investing or anything.
Huh.
uh yeah, interesting.
I'm,
Yeah, man, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna get out of this
So
before I.
he yeah, he's doing what he does, man. Yeah, I don't see Jared on the Cardone team, but anyway, they got some different colors though. That's good. I don't know. They doing stuff. Um, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's the guru season, man. It's everybody got a package, man. They're selling.
At a certain point, man, you become that quiet guy in the back of the event venue, and you're like, "Who is that? Oh, does he own the venue? No, no, no. He doesn't own the venue. Guy who owns the venues over there in VIP. That guy, funds the venue and owns the land the venue's on, and all this other stuff." And you're like, "Oh, it's just like those quiet guys."
Yeah, I think he's just playing a different game now, and so he's not having to be out there. So that's why I don't know how much longer. He's probably got a couple more books in him, but I think he's going to start playing I mean, that's probably why he brought that COO in to kind of be more the face,
Hmm.
and so Hormozi may be able to step back a little bit and do some quiet moves, some ninja moves now. So anyway, I digress, man. So yeah, look, Mr. Benja, on our level, I just want to get my little set, and I'm good. I don't need to be.
You're trying to be the old man on FAMU's campus, just like, "Hey, young blood."
Hey, hey, young blood, you don't gotta rock that fast. Go ahead and get this money, man. Man. So, real quick, Mr. Benja, and then we'll get into some of these trailers and stuff. Comments. Did you see anything here from our folks that follow us and see if they say anything good or interesting that you caught wind of?
Yeah, the only one I wanted to point out. Let's see. So this is from the anime community. Um, Theo, you got called out. If you look at this one, let's see. I'm gonna post to you right here. Journey Dwayne Kalaja says, Theo is saying, you're not a fan of anime. Not saying you dislike, not saying you don't like, just you're not a fan of it, right?
I take the flames.
Yeah, this guy says, not a fan of anime, but why though? You're missing a lot of good shows. And yes, there are still some goofy animes, but come on, seriously? Listen, this is when I used to be in the comic book shops and I'd find some awesome comic book and I'm like, Mom, look, these are the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And then she would stop me and go, "Uh-huh. Is that a raccoon?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. Anyway, so you see there are these five guys and why is her skin green? Uh well, she comes from a planet that was taken over by Thanos and Thanos is like, oh, okay. Is Thanos a nice guy? Well, no. He's with death. Okay.
Death
You
and
know,
death.
she's just like, I'm just trying to explain stuff. And then after a while, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm in my own world. Let me just leave mom alone now. And I'll come back to her when I need some money for something. And, that's how a lot of the anime crowd is. If there really is a lot of good stuff, but it's like, it's okay. Just understand that if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not for everybody else,
It,
then
it ain't for me, man. It ain't for me. I mean, I try to watch One
well,
Piece. I really want to like
you
it. I
started
really
off with
want to like it.
Robotech, so you've got your bona fides
Oh
there, as,
yeah.
as far
I
as I'm
mean, look,
concerned.
look, real hard, real truth. Hey, on God, son.
On God,
I
son.
read, I read all the Robotech series, man. So the Maycross saga to the Invalid to freaking Robotech Masters. I know that ish. So don't come at me, y'all. The Robotech Masters, I was there with them. They try to come after me, man. Come on.
But
I know them.
do you still have your Min May body pillow
Oh
that
well,
you got from the con?
yeah.
No, no,
Hey, I keep that quiet.
no.
She got my nerve though.
That's cool.
Who was Rick's girl? The one, not Rick's, but the who was the master pilot in the Zentradi? Remember he fought he fell in love with the enemy. What was her name? That
Yeah,
character.
I forgot.
Oh man, I love that character, man. She was that was awesome because he came in there. They like look at what was man. Now I gotta look it up. See, man, who was Rick's best friend uh, in Robotech? See, this is what happens,
Hey,
man.
there's a there's a Robotech GPT.
No, it's not.
Is it? Okay. No, okay. It's just a tech thing. It's not Robotech. It's some guy with robotics technology who made a GPT. Okay, never mind.
So Rick Hunter, he was a main guy, and then who was his best friend though? I'm trying to think. Sorry guys. Min May, Lisa Hayes. That was a good little triangle. Him, Min May, and Lisa Hayes. She was like the studious one, you know, the commander and all that. And then man, see, look at us, man. We're going back, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Rick Hunter, and it was what was his friend's name, and who was his girlfriend?
Hey, Robotech had a 40th anniversary this year. They
Oh
celebrated
man.
at Comic Con.
Oh, they did.
Yep, and you weren't there.
I know, man. I should have been right there with him, man. Max,
Right.
Myra. Yes. Is it Miraya? I forgot the
I don't
guy's.
know.
Yeah. Dude, that was awesome because he was like Max was just cool. They say, remember because I think Rick had just became a lieutenant or something, and then Max is like, don't be scared, Max. You know you'll be okay. And he was, you know, Rick went out save somebody. He said, "Where's Max? Max over here wrecking shop." He's like, he had one guy in the headlock. He was doing this. So they're like, "Damn, look at Max go!"
Oh man.
I was like, Max, that's my name. So he was
Anybody who's
doing this
watching
thing.
For Hermozi's like, what the fuck is this? What
I
are you
know,
talking
man.
about?
Sorry, guys. We just go off on tangents here.
It's
But
like
guess what? That's what we do. He did a Seinfeld reference, guys. Come on, man.
nice.
Whatever. Don't.
Hey, so if any of you have any comments about anything, just throw them in there. We like hearing from you guys and talking to you. It's funny stuff. And we take all the flame too. So let us know.
Let's do it, man.
All right. So without any prelude here, we're just gonna jump into a video. Uh, Actually, before we do that, let me do a little prelude. So you just want to plow through these, Theo?
Yeah. Look, guys, him is here. We're gonna go over this trailer. If you don't know what movie's about, football horror. That's all you need to know. So, James, you can cut it how you want, James, but we're gonna get right into
All right,
it.
clip number one. Let's go.
I hear you've been invited to train with legend Isaiah White himself. Care to elaborate?
I want to be the GOAT.
I want to be a goat. Ah.
Hey, GOAT, greatest of all time. When did that become a thing? That's just funny to me.
That's from LL Cool J basically.
Oh, really?
He popularized that. So back in the whole era where battle rap was coming up, and it seemed like Cool J might be starting to phase out, and he just started going after anybody who said anything sideways. He was just like, hey, and Goat came out of his whole battle rap era.
Yeah. So look, guys, I mean, look, this movie's I'm there. I'm a fan already for this movie. I don't know if I'm seeing it in theaters yet. I may go sneak out and go check it out. But horror and football, I don't think we've seen this before, Mr. Benja. I mean, I think that's what I, look, people are watching our trailer about it. We see it got what 10 million views on the last trailer we saw. I think people are kind of hype about it, and it's coming out in September, which is football season. So
Yeah, and it's
go ahead.
affiliated with Jordan Peele too, so there's that good little bit
Good
of
point. Good point. So there's a lot of triangle. So we'll see where the rest of this is going. But like I said, so far, I think I'm there, man. I think I'm there.
Think you're there?
Yeah.
All right. Jumping on to clip number 2, and we're going to play it right now.
Cameron King. Great meeting you. I'm a fan. That's crazy. I damn near worship you growing up. Who are you?
I'm him.
Who are you?
I'm him. My time.
I'm him. I'm him. When did that become
A
a
phrase?
thing? Yeah.
That's a good question. It's relatively recent. I'm him. I'm that dude. I'm that guy. I'm the one. I'm him. Good question. But I think it sets up a good premise for the movie. Where there's a lot of religious stuff going on, and the whole pride thing was sticking out to me. Where it's like, I'm him. I grew up. I'm that dude, and I don't know how other cultures take it, but it definitely seems like an American thing.
Yeah, I think look, Americans, we are very aggressive on all things, and it does seem in our sports. I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit. Like I was telling my son, he plays basketball, my daughter. I mean, above all things, being active and aggressive is rewarded, right? You have to kind of take it to folks, even if you're going to get embarrassed, and trying to get them to overcome that. Is something that I think I'm trying to understand psychologically with them. So yeah, having that psychology, I'm him, even if you may not be that, it does help people get over
What
that hump. So yeah,
what
I
is
mean,
what is humble?
yeah, exactly. Well, you know it just, hey, want to get along to get along, hey, I'm good enough. But I think everyone who does something great in America, there's a little bit of an asshole in them. I mean, look, even Barack Obama, don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah, yeah,
this to have the audacity to think he could be the first black president. Come on.
yeah, dude. The way a lot of I have some Republican friends who didn't like him because of his "I'm him, I'm that guy" kind
He
of
did
thing.
basically that.
'Cause-
I'm him. I'm that.
yeah, because what was his name? I don't know why his name is slipping me at the moment. The shorter, bald guy, who can't raise his arms, the war vet,
Oh, John McCain. Yeah.
McCain. So sorry. Respect to John McCain. Yeah, but I remember they were talking and they were like, "Look, John McCain's such a nice guy, and this and that and that, and you're going to go with this cool guy who's trying. You know how people do when they're trying to make fun of somebody who's black. This the
He's
cool
so cool.
guy. He's like, hey yo," and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? It's Barack Obama. He shot the shot. I mean, what are the presidents doing basketball shots and just,
Exactly. I'm him. I'm him. So
yeah. So
yeah, man, it's I love it, man. That's just that immersing you in this culture. So yeah, let's see where else they're going with this, man.
all right, clip number 3. Let's start this up right now.
You want to play at your highest level? You want to be a legend? Let me tell you something. This ain't a game.
Getting creepy.
Okay, see, this is what we didn't get out of the other trailers that I liked in this one. There's a little more of the lore and the background about this isn't just a straightforward something. There's something else going on here, right?
Mhm.
Where you've got this cultish kind of thing. You've got other stuff going on in the background where it's not just straight up and down sports film, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the teaser wasn't, so that was made clear. But I like the fact that the beginning part of this is all about like, the culture of being a football player. But
Mhm.
now we're getting to like, this cult of what it means to be a football player, which I'm fascinated by, man. It takes a weird person to want to get out there and play football. I mean, because it's so violent. So it's and to have the courage, not just the courage, but just the wherewithal to realize that I'm not going to get hurt, even though 95% of the time you will get hurt. Someone gets hurt at one time in that game. So
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's just, and then to be willing to come back from injury.
yeah. In that little clip, you'll notice they were like the little the religion of the sport was shown a little bit, like the clock kind of ticking and everything. That hallway. If you've been to enough churches, you've seen that kind of imagery and styling, and I know that's intentional here. So props to that.
Okay.
All right, so clip number 4. Let's start this thing up right now.
Who are they? Just gonna toss the ball around a little.
Well, that was a short one.
Get that breath, bruh. Get ready.
What you laughing at?
No, man. Too much. Yeah. That's cool.
Hey, you ever been in a situation, and this is what it brought up for me. You ever been in a situation where you think, oh, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to act a certain way, and there are all these other people there, and you're like, who are they? It's like, yeah, there's a whole ecosystem of people you got to deal with when you come stepping in to a new situation. Man,
Yeah, those are funny, especially yeah, just this whole culture of being a black man too. I'm getting that too. It's just the mochizo. I mean, for lack of a better machismo or mochizo, is that how you say it? Just
machismo.
this whole sense machismo, just whole sense of just being, are you that guy, right? That
Yeah.
are you down for whatever? And so I get that sense. It's just like, oh, am I? And now, it's funny. I'm older. I had it. I was gonna bring this up before the call, but I'll bring it up on the call. I don't care. I had this recently. This guy was kind of, hey, are you down? Are you down? I like, hell no, I'm not down, man. Let me go home and go to bed. Oh, man, I got time for this, man. Man, in my young days, I was like, come on, man. Are you serious, man? I'm about to be some age old, man. I'm trying to live my life, man. I'm not trying to be down for shenanigans right now. Get out of here with
Yeah.
that. Hey, I had to make sure you're good, man. Before we, hang out and stuff. I'm good, man.
Yeah.
So
Before
I
you know it, you get caught up in the mix.
just yeah. Well, yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we talk about that. There's been times I don't know if you were with me, but I was with someone. I was like, I don't need to be here. I'm like, come on, guys, this is not where I want to be. Where folks were partaking of certain substances. Let's just say that. And why am I here?
Activities, and then and there's also with all those guys, it's like you need to be accepted by them. It's kind of like a gang initiation, getting jumped in.
Good point. Yeah.
There's always that religious thing, even in churches.
Good
Sometimes it's
point.
like,
Yeah.
hey,
It's all just clicks.
you walk up in a church, and it's like, okay, well, thank you for your assistance. Could you help the deacon board out after church? They're going to be doing this, that, and that, and they need to help set up. And you're like, I don't want to hang out with the deacon board, and all of a sudden you're
Right.
the deacon board lackey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a whole thing, man. Just trying to be accepted by the group. So I get that part. So yeah, I like that. So we'll see. You ready?
Hey man, we got clip number 5 right here. We're gonna play it right now.
You wanna hit this? You can't handle it. I understand. Oh, too slow. Wait, what are we doing? That man's smile about to be on the floor. This is how you do your teammate? What is this?
Set hard! Eagle notes, enemies, set hard!
In this game, violence is rewarded, so learn to enjoy it.
Get your shit together!
All right, we can pause it there.
Yeah. What do you think of Marlon Wayans, known for being a comedian, playing a pseudo, I guess, dramatic role?
A pseudo dramatic. Okay, yeah, I like that. All comedians can go dark, man. So every last one of them, everyone.
Oh yeah.
That's what they do.
Have you ever seen him in Requiem for a Dream? That was very dark.
I did see Requiem for a Dream, and I can't remember his what he did in it though.
Yeah, he was a drug dealer. So yeah, he can go dark. So
Yeah,
I like, I mean, of all the Wayne's brother, who would be surprised he'd be the one still working pretty consistently of all of them? That's funny. That's the
that
funny
is
part to
though
me.
actually because when In Living Color came out, um, and all the brothers were doing their thing, he did not seem like the one who would be. Isn't he the youngest?
Yeah, he's the youngest too, so he
Yeah.
didn't really kind of pop till later.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think I told you about his stand up where he was talking about Jada, Will Smith, and Chris Rock and their whole slap and how they relate to him and how he knew them and all this stuff
Hmm.
was one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. His other stand up wasn't as good, but the one he did when he was talking about the slap, I thought that was like genius. That kind of put him back on the map for me. But but he's always been around. Some of his movies ain't the greatest, but he finds a way to stay working, man. So kudos to him. I don't know if you saw, they're also bringing back Scary Movie. I guess after Naked Gun did well, they're bringing back these spoof movies. So Scary Movie's coming back. Y'all know if you remember that one. That was
Hmm.
interesting. And they're bringing back the cast. So it's like
Yeah.
we're doing this. What they call remixes or what do they call it? Where they bring back the original cast for a late sequel. They never work out. I'm trying to think. Oh, has any of these things worked out that was like, oh, this is really good? I don't know. What they what did it call their uh what remixes? They bring back the old cast into the new generation. They don't seem like they work that well.
Nah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
a nostalgia play, but it's like, do we really need them here?
Yeah.
So they just had what I know what you did last summer. They brought back some of the cast from now. I think people kind of yawned. So they're bringing back Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's never ends.
Yeah. You know what's unfortunate though? I know in creative circles sometimes this stuff happens and it's already rolling before a lot of the creatives get to do anything with it.
Good
So
point.
they can't really have an input and a say. And when you watch it, it's like, man, I thought this was going to be more of a. And they're like, dude, I got a call and they said, we got to film in 4 weeks, and I had to, whatever, and they couldn't get Channing Tatum, so they got Sylvester Stallone, and now everything's got to change. It's like what? So yeah, it just gets silly with a lot of these productions. So that's why a
Yeah.
lot of them don't turn out well because they weren't meant to. Did you want to watch the
Shenanigans.
second half of this clip?
Uh, yeah, we just go to the other one, the 142 one. Yeah, I think it's the second half.
All right, all right. Playing clip number 6 right now.
Cam, are you okay?
I think something's off.
You want to know what you're getting yourself into.
Now we playing some football.
Okay, I gotta say something. A lot of people don't understand. Well, let me not say it that way because that's going to get me in trouble. So there's hazing, there's getting jumped in, there's initiation. There are all these kind of rituals to make sure that you're kind of the cloth before you get
Hmm.
fully initiated. And a lot of times, being in that in crowd can be glorious. And if you're like, if I just put up with this for 2 weeks and then the rest of my life I have access to X, Y, and Z, why not? Um, and I know with sports, man, and if you've never played an organized sport that on a decently high level, I haven't even played on a high level, and I can kind of get the idea. If you've never been part of a band at a high level, any type of high level organized system that kind of pushes you and does in fact damage you in certain ways, you may not get this, and it may just seem sick and twisted. But there are parts of it that are kind of cool. Uh, Did I just say hazing was cool? Oh my god, I did. That's not what I meant.
Oh yeah, get canceled. I mean, I get where you're going for though. I get where you're going for, man. It's just like look, a little bit of pain for a future of possibilities, right? So I think that's what people are looking at, right? Say, hey, I can take this I can be in pain for a little bit, and then look, I have access to all this other stuff later. That's the promise, right? Wow, the pain, is leading to the promise, of the future. So I think that's what people are looking for. But I don't know, man. This whole hazing thing, I think that's a part of it, but it's just this whole. I think they're just going for this whole religious overtones, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's what's me because football is a cult. I mean, let's be honest, they do it on Sunday, where
Yeah.
Americans used to go to church, and so people literally kind of have rituals. They dress up, they go meeting places. They do tailgating. So it just and I can see why this script was like a blacklist script, right? Because it has all the elements that we should have seen right there before, where they create a horror film around football. I don't know why people haven't done it sooner. So is this the movie to do that? I don't know yet because it looks, the beginning looks decent. I don't know this craziness at the end. I don't know if I'm gelling with it right now, but we'll see this last clip. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's a little too much.
All right. Clip number 7. We'll start playing it right now.
I'm not just gonna give it to you. You got to take it from me.
What if I say no?
Think of it as a gift from the gods.
So what are you willing to sacrifice?
Okay.
One time I was in a corporate situation, right? I won't say which one. Corporate situation. Offsite event. Some dirt was going down. And at least 6 people were around. Some people were involved in the dirt, some people weren't. But I just remember 2 of the people who you would have thought would have put a stop to it kind of looked over at me and were like, nodding their head. And I was kind of like, I didn't nod my head. I was just like, oh, okay.
Did they condone this? Did
I
they condone
understand
this?
now. I don't know if it was a condoning or a acknowledgement that yes, we know this is going on, or yes, you're in with us too now. I couldn't be sure exactly, but I was just like, huh, all right. Never spoke about it again. I haven't brought it up. Uh, they never brought it up with me. It's like everything is everything. Just whatever, man. But it's like, it's that kind of you go to work the next day and it's like you see him at the you see him in the break room, and you both reach for the same little snack in the break room, and you're like, uh-huh. And it's like it's the club inside the club, right? That's what this gave me vibes of, man. Where I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so I would just say this. Look, I mean, maybe they just had to escalate it just to get the weirdness out there. Um, okay, it's a hazing thing, the imagery, but it does seem like I kind of get where this is going though. So that's probably why I'm kind of leaning toward, is this going to be as groundbreaking as I thought it would be?
Oh,
So that's kind of what I'm. So it's like one hand I'm like, oh, this is interesting concept, but now I'm like, ugh. I mean, look, he's going after Marlon Wayans to take his spot. So he's going to sacrifice everything to kind of be the man
yeah.
and give his soul to the devil, basically. And that's when he becomes him. Okay. I hope it's not that,
Right,
or
right.
maybe he has maybe he was born religious. I don't know. It just seems very by the numbers from just a trailer. So I like the concept, but I don't know if they're marketing it the best way, right? And so, or
Right, right.
maybe
I
they
get
just
you.
have to market this way.
So,
So it
so
seemed
what?
predictable.
Yeah. So what I wonder about is how artsy they get with it. Like, how much of this is really like artsy? Are they going to break into a thriller dance number at some point? Um, I wonder about the lack of. It's got limited locations and a limited cast, so you can tell it's very closed off. And I don't want to say low budget, but it's giving those vibes of, hey, this is a very closed little story. And if it doesn't have that big feel to it, that kind of takes away from the sportsness of it to me. Where's the crowd screaming and, you know, the big press
Yeah,
conference
that's
with
the
all the
football.
people. That part of it's missing for me, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's a horror film, so they're trying to keep the budget low. So that's the
Yeah,
other thing. So, filming a arena scene would be too expensive. So, of course, he's going to a secluded compound with the number one rated quarterback in the country. Yeah.
right, right.
Where there's only 5 people in the whole house.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we sent the housekeeper and the maid staff away for the weekend so we can, just bond as boys. So script writing 101, right? You gotta, make sure you can justify the smallness. Yeah, I agree. We gotta see, man. Yeah. So if I had to grade this, I would think interesting concept, but I don't know. It seems very predictable. So I'm kind of leaning, I was kind of like A, when I think I did give it an A last time. So this new, fully more vetted out kind of trailer, I'm giving it more like a B minus. So I'm hoping it's going to surprise me if I see it, but I don't know now.
yeah. It feels limited. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I
Nice.
want it to do well, and I really want to see what kind of things it's got going on. And that may be a good thing that we're not seeing a lot of it, because they may be holding stuff back and
Yeah.
leaving out a lot of key elements. Um,
Yeah, like weapons. I mean, I didn't see it. I just saw some parts of it, so I can say that it's definitely ups and downs and all kinds of changes going on. So, weapons, which is a horror film we discussed not too long ago, which is like second weekend in a row is number one in the theater. So horror film can go all over the place. So you're right. It looks predictable now, but maybe the twist and turn are enough to kind of capture everybody's imaginations. So we'll see. Mr. Benja, man, anything else going on for you this week?
um, uh, the one thing, man. That's all I gotta say. The one thing.
One
Stand on it.
thing.
Yeah.
Got one thing. Look at that big old finger. One thing. All right. I love it. I love it. Guys, look, we love talking to you. Please like, subscribe, and comment at Show versus Business on X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Go check us out on our website, Show versus Business. Hey guys, we had a good time. Enjoy speaking to you. Mr. Benja, have a good one.
Peace.